Hi AV Clubbers, welcome to another installment of DVR Club. I'm staff writer Alex McCown, and joining me today,
freelance writer Oliver Sava.
And we're going to be talking about the season finale of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2. This was S.O.S. Parts 1 and 2. And starting off with top storylines. Wow, there was a lot of story that
happened in this episode.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. Starting off, of course, with the biggest thing that happened, the Inhumans takeover of the S.H.I.E.L.D. warship.
We don't know the size of the force we're up against, but priority one is saving the crew of the ship. Find them, free them.
Yeah, it was Inhumans go to war. It was a very small-scale war, just kind of on one ship.
Yes, much like many times in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., something that they announced, this is going to be huge, everybody's going to get involved, and then it involves basically 3 people running around punching folks.
Yeah, they've got about like 5 sets that they can use, so...
Exactly. Though, to be fair, of course, this was all leading up to a fairly severe showdown of 2 powered people grabbing each other and slowly trying to either suck the life out of each other or quake the world apart.
Yeah, vibrate each other to death. It was a very intense holding of 2 people.
And that, of course, brings us to our second storyline, which was, of course, the rescue of Bobbi by Hunter and May.
Which was my favorite story. I just love Adrienne Palicki as Bobbi, so she was a total badass, and she's also unapologetic. You really saw a lot of the spy elements come out during that sequence. She has the best fight sequence of the entire finale when she breaks out of her restraints and stabs Ward and kicks him, and then she's fighting 2 people at once, and she's got these bloody fingernails.
I was just happy she pulled those needles out of her nails. That was very upsetting for me.
They kept them in frame for a lot. It was just...
They did.
Just move the camera up a little bit. I don't need to see that so much.
When in doubt, if they were worried that your attention was going to waver, they just showed you those giant needles sticking out of her fingers. It was a little too audition-y for me. All right, and that brings us to our season MVP. Since this was the finale, we wanted to talk about the character who we think was this season's best character. And for us, unequivocally, I think we decided that this was Agent Melinda May. Obviously, this season, the biggest thing is we got her backstory, finally. We learned why she was the cavalry.
You just got a lot of development with the character, and you saw a lot of different sides of the character that you didn't really see in the first season. She was very stoic, very severe, and she lightened up a lot. You got to see her kind of banter with Coulson a little more, and she also had some really, really great action sequences this year.
I was very pleased that her ex-husband was as handsome as Blair Underwood.
Oh yes, I know, right?
That made me feel really good that she had had a man deserving of her, because, whew, Blair Underwood looks good on this show.
Yeah. Attractive people, both of them.
Speaking of good-looking people on this show, I think it's important now that we discuss who wore it best, by which, of course, I mean who wore their superpowers best in this most recent episode. Oliver?
You know, I'm gonna go with Kyle MacLachlan, who he hulks out kind of. He goes into Mr. Hyde mode. That's the character that he's playing from the comics. And he gets this big prosthetic forehead that just makes his whole face look really strange. And they seem to get rid of it halfway through the episode, where they're like,
they did.
We'll just keep the veins on his neck because the prosthetic's not really working. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, nobody really wants to see caveman-faced Kyle MacLachlan, but I guess veiny neck Kyle MacLachlan is considered
and they didn't
acceptable.
really need it because he's had to be crazy without the makeup, and he was totally fine.
For me, it was watching, of course, our sort of triumvirate of Inhumans come in and take over the ship. We can't call them mutants, we have to call them Inhumans.
Yes.
Even though
there are no similarities whatsoever between Inhumans or mutants on
Not
the
at
show.
all. Definitely not Marvel's way of getting around the fact that they can't use the X-Men characters. So, of course, we end with predictions for Season 3. What's coming next for our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I'm going to go ahead and say my first prediction is going to be that Mack will be fired immediately from his job as head of alien tech for S.H.I.E.L.D. He had one duty, one simple responsibility, which was to keep that glass case sealed, and he failed within minutes. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, total failure.
I bet you Mack's not even going to get a slap on the wrist.
No. He's going to get promoted to regular, probably, series regular.
Oliver, what's your prediction going to be for next season?
I'm going to say that everybody who quits in this episode is not actually quitting. They'll all be back, probably.
Yeah, the old Trojan quit.
Yeah. You have May going on vacation with her, supposedly with her ex-husband, and then Bobbi also, it sounds like she's going to have a change in career, but it seems like that was all intended for this potentially happening, probably not happening, spin-off that was supposed to happen with Bobbi and Lance. So she'll probably be back with Coulson's team next season. At least I personally hope so, because she's a pretty valuable asset.
Nonetheless, I think we both enjoyed this season. It was such an improvement over the first season.
Yeah, it was pretty dramatic course correction.
Yeah, they got their act together, and I think we're excited to see where they're going from here.
Yeah, they're definitely doing fun stuff. It seems like we're going to get a lot more super-powered people, so I just want to see more people like throwing fire and flying and
a few more powers that aren't just people concentrating while they hold their hands in a general
direction. And some
direction.
more like cool makeup. I thought Reina was really cool this season. I want to see them add like more scales and spikes on people. Like, have fun. If these people can transform and be kind of crazy, show me that.
All right, folks, that'll be it for this week. Thanks again for watching. I'm Alex McCown.
And I'm Oliver Sava.
We'll see you next time.